What's good, guys? Fantasy Joe back here with my Week 9 rankings, RB rankings, half point PPR as always. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button on the video, really helps me out. And if you want to leave any of your start-sit questions or any fantasy football questions, trade advice, leave them in the comment section down below. I respond to all comments as always. Let's hop right into these rankings for Week 9. So number one, this might be a little bit of a surprise, but in the wake of the Derrick Henry injury, and we don't know if we're going to have Christian McCaffrey back, I ranked him as if he's not going to play this week. But if Christian McCaffrey plays, you're obviously playing him. So let's just get that out of the way. We have some other injured guys as well. Saquon could play. If Saquon plays, you're definitely playing him. He tested positive for COVID, though, today, so that adds another layer to the story with him, accompanied with the return from injury. Don't even know if he'd be back health-wise, and now you add in the COVID. So right now these ranges, if Devante Booker is playing, Clyde could be back as well. His situation's a little bit murkier. But yeah, just to throw that out there, there's a bunch of backs on this list that could potentially be playing this week. Okay, so number one, though, in the wake of the Derrick Henry injury, I think there's a big group of guys that are clustered pretty similar together. And at number one, I've got Jonathan Taylor in a strong matchup this week against the Jets. We saw Mike White do just enough did more than enough. Won the game last week. If he can just keep them in that game versus the Colts, I think Jonathan Taylor can have a monster game. Two, Naji Harris against Chicago. Harris is getting so much volume this year. It's insane. Not the best matchup against Chicago, but not awful by any means. I think it'll be a close game. I think Najee gets a lot of work. Three, Alvin Kamara against Atlanta. Strong matchup for him. Keep an eye on the quarterback situation. I do expect Taysom Hill to be the starter, which definitely, could be a disadvantage to Kamara on the goal line and potentially get less work in the passing game. But with the lack of options they have a receiver, I think Kamara will get his work in the passing game no matter what, basically. Four, Dalvin Cook against Baltimore. Looking for Dalvin Cook to get back on track, back to his league winner ways. So that's why he's at 4, but he could easily 1 or 2 next week. 5, Austin Eckler against Philly. Eckler looked all right with that hip injury, still getting enough volume, starting himself in his fantasy league, as he said, so I'm starting him. 6, Nick Chubb against Cincinnati. Love Nick Chubb. Rest of season, has an easy schedule. He's going to be a guy I'd be trying to acquire, especially with the injury to Kareem Hunt. I think Dearness Johnson will be involved, but I think Nick Chubb is going to get the lion's share of the work there. 7, Darrell Henderson Jr. against Tennessee. Tennessee does not have an awful run defense. I think Darrell Henderson is going to have a good day, and he always gets a decent amount of volume, and he always has a great propensity to score touchdowns being on this LA Rams offense. 8, Ezekiel Elliott against Denver. Not the best matchup, but it's Zeke, and their offensive line and offense is good, and we expect Dak to be back. 9, Aaron Jones against Kansas City. This is where it starts to get interesting. That's where it gets interesting at 9 with Aaron Jones, because Aaron Rodgers tested positive for COVID. I still am playing Aaron Jones against Kansas City. It's a good matchup. We saw them just play a tight game with the New York Giants, so there's no telling that the Kansas City Chiefs are going to blow them out just because Jordan Love's playing. Could definitely happen, but I think it'll be a close enough game, and Aaron Jones will be very involved in the passing game. I think they're going to have some screens and stuff designed, especially for Aaron Jones in this game. I think A.J. Dillon could get more work, too. I expect the team to be more run-heavy in general, similar to what they looked like last week. 10, Josh Jacobs against the New York Giants. This is a game I think that the Raiders will win coming off a bye. Josh Jacobs scores a lot more in wins than he does in losses for them, so I would be firing up Josh Jacobs. 11, Joe Mixon against Cleveland. Joe Mixon has been pretty good this year. No matter what, he's been solid. You're firing him up. He's another guy who just gets a ton of volume, and they're a good offense. 12, Cordarrelle Patterson against New Orleans. Cordarrelle Patterson's an absolute stud. You're playing him every single week. Michael Carter against Indy. We saw him get a bunch of checkdowns from Mike White. I expect that to continue this next week, so I am definitely firing him up against Indy as a top 13 play. 14, Chase Edmonds against San Francisco. Chase Edmonds is just a really good player. He's involved in the passing game. He's really solid, so I have him there. 15, Devante Booker against Las Vegas. I am hoping, well, not hoping, but if I have Devante Booker in a league, so I'm hoping in that league that Saquon sits out another week and gets well rested. But let's say Saquon misses. I do think Devante Booker is a great play against Vegas. He's just getting so much volume at this time. Uh, I'd love to play him. And a good matchup as well. 16, Elijah Mitchell against Arizona. Mitchell is on a little bit of a tear right now. He's a little bit banged up, so keep an eye on that. But I think he's a strong play each and every single week that he's out there. 17, Khalil Herbert against Pittsburgh. He's getting a ton of volume. I don't expect David Montgomery to be back with the bye next week. So I still think Khalil Herbert, he's done good in good matchups, or in tough matchups. We saw him have a good game against Tampa Bay. So I'm firing him up with full confidence against Pittsburgh, even though it's a tough matchup. 18, Damien Harris against Carolina. Harris is another guy who's been playing well, and I expect them to keep feeding him. Their offensive line is opening up some big holes for Harris. 19, Zach Moss against Jacksonville. Great chance of scoring a touchdown or two in this game. I think he played Devin Singletary in this game as well. Hopefully that goes his way, but I think Zach Moss is a really good play this week. 20, James Conner. Speaking of touchdown upside, James Conner is Mr. Touchdown upside himself. He could lead the league in rushing touchdowns this year if he continues as he has thus far. Has as good a chance as anyone does of scoring a touchdown any given week, so you're playing him. 21, Boston Scott against the Chargers. They've got that run funnel. He is the lead back on this team. He could be used in the passing game as well. We saw Gainwell not really be utilized until the fourth quarter last week, so fire up Scott and just hope that he gets more touchdown. He gets the goal line carries and Jordan Howard does not. 22, Jeremy Mcnichols. I think Mcnichols could be a sneaky good play this week because I think they could get beat by the Rams or at least be in a boat race and receive a lot of checkdowns. And I think first week with Adrian Peterson in the system, I don't know how much they're going to run him, how good a shape he is. I know he's in good shape. He works out and does all that stuff, but is he going to be able to, just take 20 carries week one? I don't know. So I think Mcnichols could get more work this week. And like I said, I could see him getting a lot of checkdowns in that game script. 23, Melvin Gordon against Dallas. Gordon's been scoring touchdowns recently. He's always got nose for the end zone, so I'm playing him in this Dallas matchup. 24, Latavius Murray, another guy I think has a good chance of scoring a touchdown this week against Minnesota. If you guys have made it to this point in the video, thank you guys for watching. Please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And as I said earlier, if you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section down below. I'll respond as always. Until next time, this is Fancy Joe. Thanks for watching.